Funniest distraction. The worst room. Shout out to day 4, so a bit earlier than that was this absolute brothel. It was just not an actual brothel, but we walked in and it was this. There was something growing in my bathroom. There was
Oh man.
bugs and hair on the bed. It hadn't been clean. It didn't look like it had been
No,
cleaned
it
since
wasn't clean.
1965.
No, it wasn't clean.
So it was horrendous. Yeah, you get that on the big jobs. You got at least it was a bed. It wasn't asbestos.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's
But you're going in and the beds, I mean, they're not clean. There is hair, there's the bins are
used
the bins are full of used condoms.
used toilet paper.
And you're
Wow.
checking the beds because you're looking for, bed bugs, but you're not checking too closely because you're like,
You don't want to get your face.
yeah, but you're sleeping here. You're like, I'm out of puff. Like I can't walk anymore. I've got the blisters and you're just like,
Or it's the only
it's the only
it's
place in the
it's
town.
6 o'clock at night, and it's
Yeah.
the only it's gone dark.
That was the place, yeah, that we went to a nice place and they wouldn't let us in. They took one look at us and went, nah.
Yeah, we did stink.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Far From Home. This show is all about examining what happens when you step outside the environment that shaped you and try to build a life somewhere entirely new, one journey at a time. Maybe you can guess by the sounds of the chicken in the background, we're back in Vietnam today with Jake and Sean. So, my very first question, Jake and Sean, why are you walking from Hanoi to Chiang Mai?
We're walking from Hanoi to Chiang Mai via Laos because we are raising funds and awareness for Blue Dragon Children's Foundation. So, an incredible organisation who save trafficked children across the region. So, there are a lot of young girls and boys and mothers who are trafficked into forced marriage, prostitution, and labour into neighbouring countries. So, Blue Dragon work to facilitate their return home to Vietnam. So they go in, they save them, and then they provide vocational training, education, food, housing, and they support street children and children at risk as well within the country. So pretty amazing organisation who we've known for quite a long time, and we did a big walk for them last year. And so, yeah, trying to help them raise a bit more and help a few more children in need.
Yeah, I really respect this, I suppose, long-term relationship you've got going with them that's developed and you're still maintaining by doing a lot of challenges. I think your fundraising goal was $10,000. You're nearly there, I think.
Yeah, just got news, was it yesterday, the day before?
Yeah, a couple of
Official.
days ago.
The Irish Embassy have been really, really good to us. On the last walk, Hanoi to to Ho Chi Minh, they made a big donation, and not to us, obviously, to Blue Dragon, and they've done the same this year. So we would like to say a huge thanks to the ambassador Deirdre and Hannah and all the support staff at the embassy because they've been incredible, and that donation has inched us up. So we're now at about 80% of the way towards our goal of $10,000. Last year when we walked for Blue Dragon and another charity called the Tang Loc Project, which works in the south of Vietnam, and we raised about $50,000 on that walk. So we fully expect to smash the 10,000 barrier,
Yeah,
and get who knows how much.
yeah. Hopefully, it goes from there, and we can raise as much as possible to support as many children as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And just for a little bit of extra context, we're actually filming this as Jake and Sean are in the middle of their walk. How many days have you been on the road now, and how many days do you expect to keep going for?
So we're 4 weeks in today, and we're in a little village in Laos. Hence the rooster crowing in the rooster in the background. Hopefully he stops in a minute. But yeah, so we've got about another 2 months on the road. Yeah, he's bloody loud. We've got another 2 months on the road at this stage. So we're 600 kilometres in, and yeah, flying. We crossed the Vietnamese border about just under a week ago, and yeah, going really well.
Yeah, very cool. Congrats so far for making it this far. Yeah, don't
Thank
worry
you.
too much about the chicken. I can just edit it out if it becomes too much of a problem. For sure. So yeah, obviously you've done something similar before. Jake, you were the first guest on my podcast. Glad to see you return so quickly.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I'm really curious because how this one has felt different in terms of the physicality and the mentality and in terms of fundraising.
Well, so far, it's been much more enjoyable. The weather has has been pretty perfect for us. On the last walk, our first 2 or 3 weeks, we had torrential downpours, and then after that, it was immense heat, 40 degrees, 90% humidity.
Yeah, when you get to the High Vung
Yeah,
Pass, which is like halfway, it was like torrential rain all the way up to that, and then up to the High Vung Pass and down. It was just scorching weather
yeah,
until like the
till Saigon.
yeah, low 40s when we
Whereas
yeah.
this walk, the weather has been really nice. There's been hot days and things like that. It's been tough, and it's a lot more mountainous where we've gone. But yeah, we just the the beauty we've been able to interact with a lot more smaller communities and a lot of people. So the excitement on people's faces, children's faces, and has been has been a lot more
Yeah.
this time around, I
And
guess.
we know what we're doing a little bit more, which you would expect
Yeah.
in terms of what to bring in the bags. And me personally, now touch wood, I haven't had any major like what would happen on the last walk is my back. There's some disc or something kept going like every so often. That hasn't happened, and I'm much stronger, doing much longer days now than I did
Yeah,
last time, and it's easier overall. It's
yeah. So physically, Sean's uh, coping a lot better than he did on the last walk. Uh, he's still losing the same amount of weight very rapidly. I'm fine again. And in terms, I guess, of the charity we're walking for, we were able to do a bit of social work with them in DMBN Foo.
yeah.
So we met the Blue Dragon team up there, and they took us out for 2 days of pretty intense social work where we met people where the money is, where the money will be going. I met a young girl who was trafficked, and met a young girl who's 15 years of she was 15 years of age when her parents passed away, and she had to support her. She had to leave school to support her grandmother, who was 80, and a younger brother and sister, and they had to give the younger sister up for adoption because the family couldn't support her. And so Blue Dragon have facilitated her return to school. At 18 years of age, she's back in school, redoing year 9, and then she'll continue on with her education. And so they're helping this family not just survive but thrive. So we're really fortunate to see the amazing work Blue Dragon do, but also how tough some people really do have it, and it makes
Yeah,
us
I guess you get.
yeah, it
I
makes
guess
us
you're getting
realise
like a
once.
first-hand look at what's going on, the work they're doing.
Yeah, exactly, and it just makes you realise how important the work they do is, and how important it is that we spread this message and try and raise as much money as possible to help those in need, because there's so many children that do need this help.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think it's a wonderful cause, and it's great that you're raising the profile of these kinds of different types of situations. But yeah, I've been keeping up with your journey, and obviously I was following you on the last one, and it does feel like I'm getting the sense it's more enjoyable and you're more confident, and you do have this air of what you're doing a bit better. You seem to be taking it a bit more in your stride, which is really great to see. And I don't know if my judgment here is correct, but this one feels like it's getting more attention than the last one. I think your fundraising goal is bigger, and you seem to be getting a lot more eyes on social media. I've seen you collabing with different people. I think you've got more sponsorships. Yeah, do you find yourself recognizing this momentum in these challenges and this journey you're taking?
Yeah, we do, don't we? We've got better equipment this time round. Last time we were filming the Vietnam charity walk on 2 potatoes, so might as well have been anyway. The footage was pretty poor. We're also filming through plastic bags a lot of the time because
Yeah.
of the rain. But yeah, I think we're finding more enjoyment in the day to day. Waking up, Sean's definitely waking up with less pain. We're just vibing with the community a lot more, and yeah, just being able to create those reels and the stories and the videos and not be as monotonous. I think we were very monotonous in the last
and there was stuff that we weren't putting in the reels. Like we were there's crazy stuff happening, and we were like, oh, we won't upload that. But actually, that's kind of what people want to see. They want to see the highs and the lows. So I don't know if you saw the day we crossed over into Laos, like the reel there will show you there was no one at the border when we crossed, and then that was whatever 10 o'clock. No, it was just 6 o'clock, and then we said we'd walked 38 kilometers or something.
42. We'd done a marathon up to the border.
So, and we needed somewhere to sleep. So a guy who was working there said, you can go in to this room. And we said, we'd go and sleep, like under construction, like a room. There's nothing in it. It's like a concrete thing. But there was lots of rats and lots of asbestos. So we said, maybe we shouldn't go here. That was the first thing. Then the second thing was another room, but it was too cold. And it was like just concrete bags to sleep on. So we said, okay, fuck it. We're gonna. So we walked out of when we got the passport stamped, we walked to a village, and there was like a little area, like an open area, like a shop had like a corrugated iron overhang. So there was concrete floor, 2 walls, but it's exposed to the open. We said we have to sleep. It's 3 a.m. We have to sleep. We've no sleeping bags, so we curled up in the corner. And all the town dogs got real aggressive with us, wouldn't let us sleep. They'd run over and growl at us. So, like, eventually, we had to look, and we walked into the fucking jungle and found this raised platform of wood, and we actually slept there. Like, that was the 4th attempt that night, and we were like, I have to sleep, and yeah, we did it, and that's probably my favorite reel that we put up. But we wouldn't have done that on the last walk because we're like, oh, people aren't interested. Actually, that's
what they want.
That's what I would want. Do you know?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. It's like when we crossed that border, we'd already organised. So the Tai Chang border, where you cross there outside of Dien Bien Phu, you have to have a physical visa in your passport. You can't rock up with an e-visa. So we'd done everything by the books. We crossed the Vietnamese border, no issue at all, was it? Yeah. So it's just straight across. And you get to the Laos border, and it's supposed to be open till 7:30 p.m. at night. And it's a construction site. They have all these Chinese workers there building a whole new beautiful border crossing. No one to be seen, just pitch black. The offices all the lights were off, all the computers were off, and so we got lucky that a guy called up somebody on the phone. He just got out of bed. It looked like just in his boxers, and he called somebody up and said, "Oh, there's two fellas here, 2 foreigners that need to cross the border." And obviously, you're not allowed to. You can't. There's no hotels there, so you can't sleep at the border. We were going to, but asbestos and rats put pay to that. But we got lucky. A guy stamped us in after a couple of hours of waiting, probably, wasn't it? So,
but even that, it's like at the time it was hard, but like looking back, it was kind of, it's an adventure, and it is much more joyous is the word that I'm using. Like it's also, I've never been to Laos, so we're crossing 3 countries, and I don't know what it is. I guess maybe your first through hike is going to be difficult, especially at my age. It'll be difficult. And the second one, you know what you're doing, you know that you can kind of rise to any challenge. And as a friend of mine said, like, yeah, so you're sleeping in the jungle, and that's not ideal, but you can bail anytime you want. You're doing it for people who don't have any choice, like, so shut up, he said, suck it up.
Yeah, I really like the sense of joyous energy that comes from a situation like that. Yeah, from my own, obviously we know each other a long time. I'm in a very stable career now, but I find myself thinking, I'm quite envious of my friends dealing with asbestos and and sleeping in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like I think there is a romantic element to that for race. But yeah, I guess you kind of answered the question. What would you prefer sleeping? A rat in an asbestos infested shed, or with some aggressive dogs, or you chose hypothermia. How did you come to that conclusion?
That's it. Yeah, it reminds me of can you edit stuff out of this?
Yeah. I can edit anything. Really.
What's blue? Hypothermia. Yeah.
But no, most definitely preferred the hypothermia. I think asbestos. Well, That wouldn't have been fun.
No, because we looked it up because we got onto Jake's dad and we said, "Is this asbestos?" And he said, "Look, it does look like it." So, and when we were looking up, is it okay to sleep in in an area with asbestos? I said, "Not even once." Like it is, don't be in an enclosed space with asbestos for any length of time. We're like, okay, fine, we'll fuck off. Like, um,
Yeah, so there was a logic to it.
yeah.
But yeah,
But it's interesting you said that. Like, yeah, it's quite romantic. Like you're looking at us going, "Oh, that's kind of fun." I think there's a couple of things there. There's like the midlife crisis thing. Do you know when when you're kind of our age, you've got that thing of, old age is knocking at the door, and you kind of want to go and have a couple of adventures while you can. But also, you're kind of person who like up sticks and goes and moves to Asia, right? So you're by definition the kind of person who is interested in adventure and is, kind of compelled to leave the place. We're like that, right? The travelers are like that. The people who leave, there's a wanderlust, or there's some itch that needs to be scratched. It's the romance and the adventure. And there is something about, and what you're doing, obviously, from my perspective, is terribly romantic. You go and live in China, and you're kind of carving your own niche that way. And it is interesting that just from the other perspective, things can take on a hue that you might not feel yourself. You might, I have that as well. I was living in Hanoi, which is part of the reason I did the walk. It's like, oh shit, I'm getting older. I want to have these adventures. I want to have these stories. But from the outside, already, I guess my life was probably quite interesting compared to some of my mates, like, getting up and going and
yeah,
living in Asia. And we're all in that. But and your podcast is for kind of those people, right?
yeah. I guess we could say the amazing that we encounter every day has been normalized to such an extent. We feel
Yeah.
the need to push ourselves into more extremes, possibly. Oop. Yeah.
Nope.
Can I ask how old are you guys now?
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 38 now.
I'm 46.
36. I'm 34 now. But yeah, I think you started the last walk. Was it 2 years ago now?
Yeah,
So I think if I'm to follow your trajectory, I'm due a mad walk any month now.
Well, I mean, you might get into heroin or something. It doesn't have to be a walk. It could be just,
Yeah, drug abuse.
just a drug abuse. It could be, yeah. Do you have anything like that in mind? Is there anything that you think, actually, yeah, I could see myself doing this in a couple of years?
It's weird because I don't think I'm not as like effort as it was when I wanted to leave Wales. I do enjoy my balanced life. I do think I've got a pretty good thing going on. But I do find myself
Yeah.
craving, just thinking, what would happen if I just went effort and followed my curiosity and just, focus on health and fitness, flying to somewhere like really tropical, like Thailand, where it's sunshine every day, the food's great, I'm
Yeah.
doing Muay Thai, I could just talk to interesting people on a podcast. Yeah, that thought is cropping up, which is not what I would have expected a year ago.
Is that something you're actively working towards, or is it just kind of like in the back of the mind at the moment, percolating?
More in the back of the mind and calculating.
Yeah.
I'm going to explore it in a sense, but I'm not really. I don't think I'll ever be like effort because I've got a really good thing going on. But yeah, let's see. I also, with this career, I've got like 3.5 months of vacation a year, so I'm considering how I can best like maximize that to scratch that itch where I want to like, sleep with aggressive dogs and in asbestos infected sheds and deal with hypothermia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
3.5 months, plenty of time to do that. Like, once every year, once every 2 years. That's, definitely it's an option for you.
yeah. I'm excited to explore it more. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really excited to explore the dynamic between you two. Because I don't know if me personally, I could survive that long with just one other person so intensely. So I'm sure people listening to this would like to know, how did you guys meet? And how did you decide to tackle this together? What's your origin story as a pair?
Well, you can start with the how did we meet? I guess.
Yeah. So years ago, myself and my ex-girlfriend moved to Hanoi. She wasn't my ex-girlfriend at the time. She was my girlfriend at the time. She's now my ex-girlfriend. Barbara, if you're watching, Barbara, hello. And she set up the the vegan meetup group in Hanoi. And she set up the first time we met Matt and Zah. And then the second time Jake rocked up, so that's how we made that network of kind of that vegan group that we were kind of close knit for a couple of years.
They tried to kick me out. They said, you're not vegan, mate. You don't sound like a vegan. You don't look like a vegan. Jesus Christ.
Little did we know that Jake was by far the most ruthlessly severe vegan of all of us, like, you know.
The most committed to the cause, definitely.
The most committed, the most judgmental, the most fundamental, the most mental. And that's how he rocked up. And there was a big gang of us for years. And on a side note, if you do move away somewhere, if you go somewhere, what I always say to people is, I think if you're looking to make friends, you can join a climbing group or, whatever it is, you can join that kind of thing. But if there is something that you can join, a group where your personal values align, I think that's a really easy way to kind of make connections, because at root, almost all of us, our veganism was the most important kind of philosophical stance we had, and it kind of knit us together as a group. So if you can find that, where if you go abroad, if you can find that, whatever it is for you, that.
And then we were friends for a long time, obviously for 5 or 6 years in Vietnam, and then COVID happened, and Sean you were in Vietnam, in Hanoi, and I got stuck in Australia for that 7-month period. I think I probably spoke about this on on the last podcast I did with you, and I was sitting at home going, shit, when I get back to Vietnam, I want to do something. I don't really want to teach anymore. I want to do something to give back to the country and its people. So I thought, why not walk the length of the country in thongs? And I got back, and there was a few obstacles and obviously things that got in the way of it ever happening. And then Sean walked up to me and said, "Oh, you're still doing that walk? You want a fat old man to join you and walk with you? He's got bloody arthritis in one leg and one ankle." And I said, "Well, I looked around the room, and geez, no one else has put their hand up here. I'm stuck with this fella." So obviously we walked, and we did that walk, and she says, "Shit, this was bloody good fun. Let's do it. Why not do it again?"
Yeah, so, and the dynamic between us is pretty good. I mean, we had one moment on the Vietnam charity walk early on. It wasn't an argument, but we were both doing things that annoyed the other person, and we both of us had a good point. So we had to sit down, and you want to nip that in the bud early. You don't want to let it simmer until it blows up. And somebody
say, "Sean, please stop watching me sleep, mate."
I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah, why should I? No, rude. Like, we had one little moment, but other than that, I mean, you find little ways. I mean, we're very good at reading each other. I was having a bad day a couple of weeks back because I've blown out a tendon in my foot. So walking is sore, and that's all we're doing is walking. And there was one day where you were on the other side of the road, and you looked over, and you could tell by me, he didn't say hey, he just kind of went, and kept walking, because he could obviously see in my face, like, don't talk to me. I have to just power through. We have a little code as well. So we walk together we wake up, we'll walk together for maybe 40 minutes, an hour. We'll kind of talk. Usually, sometimes we don't. Usually we do.
Yeah.
Get a coffee somewhere. And after that, we go off. But we have a little code, and you just say, I'm going to lock it in. And that means I'm going to put in headphones. I'm going to focus on the walk. But what it sometimes means is I don't want to talk.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Yeah. But it's so much nicer than saying, "Go away." It's like, I'm going to lock it in. And it's like, cool. Never once has there been an issue with that. Like,
Interesting.
There's little moments. We do little irritate. What?
Yeah.
I was joking. Are you serious?
You better kiss me. What's going on?
I don't know. Yeah.
There's always you do press each other's buttons a little bit sometimes.
But there's a lot.
Just walk away.
And there's a lot of goodwill in the bank. Yeah, we'll never let it, like, an argument. Not that we've little disagreements about stuff, but they don't. Our personalities are, like, very, very different. Like, I'm a little more neurotic. Like, I'll get stressed about stuff, and I'll be, I'll get annoyed. Jake is very good at just kind of going, forget it, and letting it,
I'm probably too glass full.
Yeah,
like
sometimes.
Type B people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it works well.
I think it works well. Yeah, I really liked Sean what you said a few minutes ago about when you live abroad, you should try and live through your values. Yeah, for me, I've been exploring trying to live through my values a lot more in the most recent few years, like fitness and curiosity and learning. And I feel like it's easier than ever to make friends, because when you do live by your values, you find people with similar values very easily, and you're kind of drawn to each other. But I'm also curious, yeah, when you said like you guys lock in, what have you been listening to throughout the walk?
I just listen to the sound of people screaming. It's a loop. It's a 6 hour loop of people
White
screaming.
noise, don't you?
White no, I listen to white noise that night. I listen to. Okay, no, go on. Here you go. Sorry, no. Oh yeah, no. If you want, will I? Do you want? No, you.
No, it's a mix, right? Though, isn't it? It's a we ask people if anyone out there is listening. Anyone, I don't care if you've got my contacts. Send a voice note over, a nice big one. It's nice to listen to. We've got so much time, so it's nice to have a voice notes to listen to, and to talk to people and catch up on things that's happening in their life and takes you away from the walk. It's quite nice. But also we listen to a bit of music, podcasts, or it's nice to just raw dog it as well. Just take the headphones out and just listen to the sounds of nature and talk to the local people. There's so many in Laos, especially. There's all these rural, small little villages, and all the kids run up, and they're so happy to see you. So it's nice just to forego the headphones and just talk to all the locals and interact and just high fives, and it's great.
Yeah, but I want to second the WhatsApp stuff. It's really important. I said to family and friends back home, I said, look, I've got 8 hours a day. Send me podcasts. And I've got some mates. And they will, no bother. They won't think twice about sending me 20 or 25 minutes of a message. And it's lovely because, you listen to it on 1.5 speed anyway, but they're with you for that section of the walk, and they can accompany you, including your response. That could be 5 kilometers, and you're connecting with people back home, staying up to date, staying in touch. And it is lovely. It's really, but then, there's times where you can't keep doing it, and you do take it out and just be in the moment. And it's like therapy. Like you work through stuff, like I had a breakup recently, like very recently. And it's really good. Like it's, you kind of, you work through stuff and you're like, okay, I know where I messed up there. And then you're trying to internalize, okay, I'll try not to do that again. I'll try to be a better person going forward. Which, I mean, you could do through therapy, which is probably better, but having the time to yourself where you are like literally just with your thoughts, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult to be in your head. But over time, you do have these little mini epiphanies, and you kind of go, "Oh, I do that. Oh, that is something I need to work on." I probably won't. I'll probably just continue being a toxic person. Fuck it.
You're 46 now, mate. It's too late.
Too late. It's too late. Yeah, change is impossible.
No, it's the walking is
stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
The walking is the perfect antidote, especially if you're dealing with any. I say this to anybody that has any issues with mental health. Getting outside and walking and being out in nature is the best tonic. It 100% is. You've got time to think about things and process. You've got time to just be out in nature and just take in all the sounds. It is. Yeah, it is
something. Really, it sounds trite because that's what people say, but it is true. Walking. Somebody said, "Motion is lotion," and it's true. It's for the body and the mind. Like,
I like movement is medicine.
I'm sorry.
I like the phrase "movement is medicine."
Movement is medicine. Yeah,
100%.
For the head as well. Like, it's very, very good.
Walking, running, cycling, whatever it is, going to the gym, just being outside and being outside and exercising is unbelievable.
Yeah. You answered some of my next questions already. I was going to ask what's been the biggest argument so far, and what's something the other person do that secretly drives you insane. But I'll ask you the final question of this part. What's something the other person has done on this walk that genuinely surprised you in a really good way?
Yeah, but mine's very recent. I could go. Sean was having a real shocking day. It was after we'd done 50 kilometres and slept in a myriad of places, slept with rats, slept with aggressive dogs, caught hypothermia, got a bit of asbestos on the lungs, and crossed the border in all that time. The next day was very 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 tedious. It was into a hotel, And then we got caught with cockroaches and all this type of stuff. So
stop.
we didn't get another night's sleep. So it was rough. But the very next day, we had a 40-kilometre walk to do with 1,000 metres of incline and then 1,000 metres of decline. And Sean's tendon was giving him all sorts, and he was like, "Oh, mate, you're gonna have to go by yourself today, and I don't know if I can walk." Rada rada rada. I said, "Give me 5 or 10 kilometers. Walk with me for 5 or 10." And we got to lunchtime, and we'd done 13 or 14, 15 maybe. And he said, "I've probably got another 5 in me, and then we'll see where he ends up." Right. All of a sudden, there's. I got to the hotel, and he had no internet. And I couldn't get in contact with him, and I thought, he'll be fine. He'll get there. And he got about an hour later. He wanders in, and he'd push through, but he'd pushed through the 40K day on a pretty much a ruptured tendon at this point in his peroneal tendon, and it just surprised me because on the last walk he would have gone, "Nah, I'm fucking done. I've had enough of this day," and we just stopped there, and that was it. But he pushed through. He overcame a barriers he probably didn't think he could, and he's done that a couple of times in his walk, and that didn't. It surprised me how much his mental aptitude has changed from the last walk. The ability to overcome those barriers. So that did surprise me. Yeah.
We have to take a minute. Oh, thanks, bro.
No worries, mate. Yeah.
And Sean, what genuinely surprised you about Jake?
Yeah. Okay. So this probably not that it surprises me, but like I said, yeah, I had a breakup there in the last couple of weeks, and it's been a bit tough. And I did say to you yesterday, look, sorry if I'm fucking bringing the whole mood down. And Jake's just been a rock, like really kind of, not that this is surprising, that's the wrong way of putting it, but he's been really, really sweet about the whole thing, and like supportive. And when you're going through a breakup, like no one knows what you're going through. Everyone's gone through it, but when it's when it's raw, it's it's a kind of a moment to moment thing. You forget for a second, and you go back, and you forget, and you go back, and it's really, really tough. But he's just been really kind of supportive and saying, look, you're going to be all right. You'll get through it. And we bounce off each other. We tell each other the kind of stories, of going through these breakups, and we're just we're there for each other. And not that it's a surprise, but it's unbelievably supportive. And I did say last night, look, I'm sorry if I'm fucking bringing the whole vibe down. And Jake was like, it's cool, mate. I don't give a shit. No, he didn't. Whatever.
Just as a footnote to all that, really supportive guy here. Apparently, ladies, I am single, so
yeah, get around it.
I'll
Yeah.
turn this segment
I'm
into the
the
wheel
single
to
one.
promote the show.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, lonely single guys, like but yeah, no, I'm
Raw dog
technically
in
single.
Vietnam together.
yeah, well, let's
Like,
use that as the headline. Yeah.
Different kind of
boys.
audience. Like,
So I'm really curious now, because obviously this is the second one you've done. How do you think it would change things if a third person wanted to join you next time? How would you feel about that?
well, next time, yeah. I mean,
For the whole
We do have a. Yeah, it does. That does completely change the dynamic. But
Yeah.
we talked about this previously. If it's someone with the same sort of values as us, and we're keen to get involved and
yeah,
walk for charity, then we'd welcome them with open arms.
we
Like,
really would, like, yeah.
we talked about this as well. Anyone on this that is willing to come and join us on this walk, whether it's for a couple of days or a week, we're more than welcome. Yeah.
I like a third person that you kind of would, like, everyone does little things that annoy you, right? And you're going to do little things that annoy the other person. That's fine. But just the dynamic where there's like Jake is more gregarious than I am, more ebullient. Like he wants more kind of social interaction than I do. Like I'm kind of very happy to, when we have a rest day, like I could go and sit in the bed all day, just like I will see you for lunch, I will see you for dinner,
Yeah.
and then I will sit in my room. So having a third person where that dynamic, there would always be kind of, you could walk with somebody if you want. Like, so the days when Jake wants to walk with somebody and I don't, it wouldn't be an issue because you'd have kind of more of a. I think it would be good, provided that, as Jake said, we have the same values, the same sense of, like, we have a dark sense of humor. Someone who's willing to kind of put up with the bullshit, the cockroaches and the rats and the rain and the heat would be fantastic. Speaking of, we have 2 mates coming along in about a fortnight.
Yeah, so shout out to Matt and Liam. They're going to be joining us. They're coming. They're flying in. A meeting is in Luang Prabang, and they're going to walk with us north through some very, very rural country, actually. So they'll be experiencing the sleeping on rat-infested floors and all that. So that's going to be good fun. We have a period.
A lot to look forward to.
Oh, yeah, it's a steep learning curve.
They are very excited, though, aren't they?
They're really excited.
Day 2, they're going to be.
Matt, if you are watching this, do not bring the laptop. He has a 6.5 kilo laptop, and it's like you can't. It's the laptop or clothes. You can't pick both. Like Sophie's choice of walking.
You talking from experience there. Did you bring the laptop on the
well, no, I didn't. But both times I started with like maybe 13 kilos, and even this walk on day 2. I brought resistance bands because I get really fit on the walk, and I brought like loads of extra clothes. And day 2, I was just going through stuff going, no. Years ago, before we did the first walk, I was reading about through hikers. And I remember reading a thing where they were like, oh, they'll get a toothbrush and they'll cut the handle off the toothbrush to save weight. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But now I'm like, actually, that's a good tip. Like,
yeah, the first
hack.
Yeah. Well, the first couple of weeks of this walk, the first week of this walk, you turfed a lot of things out of your bag that were excess weight. But I've got my laptop, my camera equipment, and things like that because I'm doing a lot of photography on the walk, and I need the laptop to edit. And also, it's nice to have the laptop because then we can jump on and do this podcast.
Yeah,
it's a bit easier than looking at a phone, I think. So
yeah, I've a dry eye disease. It's to call it an autoimmune disorder, and I've loads of fucking medication. But even that, like on day 2, I was taking bottles of like eye drops out, going, no, I'll suffer, get rid of it. Like, yeah. On the last walk, we had these bags. We got like donated the bags. These but there was no support in them, but they were big, heavy duty,
Yeah, they're proper ultralight backpacks.
Yeah, and so there's loads of straps on them for different things. You can tighten this, you can do that, and the day before, Jake was like, I'm going to cut some of these straps off, and I mean, it would be saving a gram of weight, but he cut it off, and then he was immediately like, oh shit, no, I need that to close the bag.
I cut it too short.
Like, we're professionals. We're absolute professionals. Call us for your walking needs.
Professional, yeah. Just as long as you don't start chopping off a limb or a finger, I think you're good.
Yeah, well, give us time. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I'm walking my feet down to stubs at the moment, so
yeah.
They're not looking too fancy.
Well, take care of yourselves, lads. Be safe. I've looked through your vlogs. They've been very creative. So I'm back to day 1, the very first step. So let's go back to it. Day 1, I assume the adrenaline is high. There's 50 people cheering you on. I think Hanoi Run Club were there, pacing you through the old quarter. You mentioned like a couple of beers, black coffee. How were those first steps, given you've done it before? Were you feeling the epic adventure begins again? Or were you more like, it's raining, why did we say yes to this?
No, it was, for me, it was pure excitement. I've not been teaching in Hanoi for a while, so I've just been traveling around doing my photography and treading water. And I was, building up to that day, I was like, geez, I just wanted to be here so we can get on the road. Whereas Sean was probably different. He had a girlfriend at the time that he was seeing, and so he was going to have to say goodbye to her and things like that. And but yeah, for me it was pure excitement, and we were lucky. We had a really good turnout of friends and the Hanoi Run Club who we really appreciate their support. So shout out to Hanoi Run Club. But yeah, with the weather, just the way these things goes, these things go. The heavens opened up when we're supposed to leave at 9 a.m. or just before 9, and it was torrential downpour for about 45 minutes to an hour. But to be fair to everyone, 50 people stuck it out and came out and supported us. So we were feeling very, very privileged and very lucky. And yeah, it was just a beautiful day.
Yeah, and the first leg of that walk, whatever, 5, 6, 7 kilometers, loads of people came with us to the Republic in Tay Ho, which you probably know well.
Yeah, shout out to Mickey Francis and Matt Lowe.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, guys. So just as a side note there, Mick Francis, an Australian expat living in Vietnam with a Vietnamese family now. He's got 3 kids and a Vietnamese partner. And, his company, Uncut Travel, and Vietnam Backpackers and the Republic all jumped on to sponsor us, both this walk and the last walk, and have made the ability for us to raise funds for Blue Dragon possible.
Yes, yeah. Like neither the walks would have been, these walks wouldn't have been happening without Mick. So yeah, if anyone does go to Tay Ho, to Hanoi, go to the Republic. It's a great bar. It's a really, you never have a bad night there. But yeah.
For live music, sports,
big for sports, like
bit of a feed. Yeah, it's a good spot. Mick's great.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's obviously you guys have been in Hanoi for a very long time. You've got lots of, obviously a huge sense of community there. But yeah, I'm curious about the finances behind this. Obviously, you mentioned this will be possible with sponsors.
I'm curious too about the finances. Jake.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so finance-wise, the last walk and this walk wouldn't be possible without financial sponsors. They help us pay for accommodation and food while we're walking, and also this time visa costs for other countries. So we had a few sponsors. So shout out to all those. So shout them out now quickly.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So Uncut Travel, Pyramid Logistics, the Quignon Sports Bar, Phong Nha Farm Stay, I Vegan Vietnam, and Australian Modular Homes. So also
like 1984 tattoo.
Yeah, 1984 tattoo.
Cool.
Our Frescoes is for the last walk as well.
Yeah.
The Pharaoh's Turnbarrow Antique Centre, which is my parents' antique store.
The Irish Embassy.
Massive supporters. I feel like I'm an Irish citizen these days. Their support's been incredible. So we've been very lucky to have all this support. And but saying that, last walk we still came out of it negative in terms of our own money. We had to spend out of pocket quite a bit, and that's happening again. We're going to be spending a lot of money out of our own pocket, which isn't ideal when you don't. Well, Sean, especially, you don't have much in your bank account. You've got no savings, so
thanks.
If anyone is willing to throw us $5 or $10, just
because
help us pay for accommodation.
Not only is like we're into our savings, we're eating into that, but also there's huge periods of time leading up to the walk and during the walk where we're not earning. We're not actually working, obviously, because we're walking.
You can't hold a full-time job down with that on the horizon.
Even a part-time job, like even if I was teaching online, you can't do it because there's just times where you will end up somewhere where the Wi-Fi isn't good enough or it's non-existent, So
for an example there, I guess, so Sean's job ended in end of May, and then you can't get a full-time job with other companies because they cut up your TRC, and then you've got to go out and spend money on a new 3-month visa, which is at a cost to you, and you've got to leave the country and fly back in. So all these things add up. But yeah, just...
Now, look, I mean, it is the life we chose, and we decided we would do it. But we are going to... We didn't... On the last walk, we didn't ask anyone for donations to us. We only asked for donations for the charities. This time around, we're like, we have to set up a coffee. It's like GoFundMe. So we set up a coffee page, and we are asking people if you can, but throw us the equivalent of a cup of coffee, just because, like, we don't have health insurance, travel insurance. We couldn't afford it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were looking at the finances going, this isn't in the budget. Now, it would be lovely if we started making enough money that we could buy travel insurance. That would be fantastic, just in case something happens, like if Jake annoys me and I batter him, and he has to go to the hospital. It felt a little bit awkward and embarrassed asking for that. We were hoping that the sponsorship that we got would kind of cover us, but it's not going to. We are actually going to run out very soon. In actual fact, today We show them we went to exchange the few dollars we have because there's no ATM here and we've run out of Lao kip. And we went to the exchange place and you'll see that the note, I was carrying the notes and something ran. So see the little bits of ink
I can
there.
see it. They want them crisp and clean, don't they, in this part of the world?
Crisp and clean, man. So we were like, okay, we've $150 that we can exchange. Great, that'll keep us going for another week. No, they exchanged like $25 and the rest of them, they were like, we're not taking that. And like, oh, really? And I was like, okay, can I try my Vietnamese app to tap? That won't work. So we're like, what are we doing? We've no money.
You accept Bitcoin?
yeah. If only we had Bitcoin. Yeah. So
but yeah,
it's all part of
the reality
it's all part of the adventure
and the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You'll look back in this in a few years and laugh, I'm sure. Because I do think if you keep it up, if you keep up the challenges, keep building the profile, I'm sure the finances will come eventually. I've seen it happen. So many times
as well. It's not
100% sure it will happen. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we hope so because it's actually something we want to continue doing. We don't want this. We've already been talking, and we've talked for a long time about this, but this isn't the last walk we do. We want to do another one. Pretty much as soon as we finish, we want to walk through Thailand for a charity there, and then we're talking about other walks, and we want to raise as much money as we can for charity in a time where the world's a bit fractured. So we want to help as many people as possible, but we need sponsorship and support to do that. So if anyone can throw a couple of dollars our way, why not?
And you were saying that the reels this time were much more kind of creative and engaging, and everyone is saying that. Everyone's like, oh, they look really super professional. That's mostly down to Jake. He does most of the filming and the editing, and I think they're
really good. Really,
the reels are really good. But even so, we feel like, we're not quite getting the traction, Now we're at this 3.5 weeks, so maybe it's early days, but it would be lovely to kind of have a little moment, It'd be lovely to, for this to kind of become a self-perpetuating thing, if we got the support,
as long as we've got the support to cover accommodation and food, we're laughing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to be making savings off it, but I literally, I wouldn't have the funds after we get to Chiang Mai to turn around and go. There's a few dog rescue centres in the south of Thailand, and we'd love to walk for, like yourself, like the animal stuff. Like it's super important to us. So, it'd be lovely to do that. But again, this has to pay for itself after this walk. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to.
I've seen a few people in this part of the world volunteer with animals. I know someone who was volunteering, taking care of stray dogs in Koh Phangan. And it looks really idyllic, but we live in a global capitalist system, and sadly, we all need money to get by. I'm convinced if you keep following this path, comfort will come back again. Let's go to day 2. Before we continue, I do want to say, please do keep the reels going, because for nothing, even if they gain no traction, I think they're just nice to have that memory that you can look back on.
Yeah,
and
definitely
refer to for future walks. So I would encourage, because I think you got to day 12 and they kind of dropped off a bit.
I know we've stopped doing the daily reels at the moment.
I would encourage you to keep them up. With social media, consistency is everything. And they are quite nice to watch. I watch them, and I would like to see more.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
We're really, really proud of them. Yeah, the Vietnam charity walk, we know they were kind of a bit crappy and disorganized, but these, I think, are very good.
No, don't worry, they're coming back. The only reason we've stopped the daily reel at the moment is because we're busy catching up on reels to show the social work we did with Blue Dragon and the border crossing and all these other type of things. But there's a new, just after this podcast has been filmed on Saturday, 8th of November, and there will be a daily reel coming out this afternoon. So, stay tuned.
There we go.
Heard it first.
So, day 2. I read, I've not actually been able to listen to the reels because you use music, and Instagram has a weird relationship with China where they block Instagram not using music. But I've been reading the text that you put up. Day 2, I think you already got blisters. It's 35 degrees, and you said you're getting outpaced by Vietnamese grandmas.
Yeah, it's
But every
stationary objects. Yeah.
stationary objects. But every day I was looking at, I think you were just met with like so much generosity. You keep meeting so many people
Yeah.
offering food, drinks, and rides. And I'm really curious, how is that changing you as people when you realise just putting yourself out there for a good cause and living by your values and being met and received so warmly? Do you think, obviously you did it before, did the last walk change how you interact with people? And do you think this walk is affirming those changes?
I just find it extremely humbling, and beautiful that you've got all these people who have very, very little, going out of their way to try and help a complete stranger. Yeah, it's very endearing. It's humbling, as I said, and that's probably why I've stayed in Vietnam for so long, is because of those people. They give you the shirt off their back if you needed it. So for me, that's the biggest part. Biggest part about the walk is just meeting these amazing, incredible people and being able to interact with them.
Do you know there's that a parable or story, I don't know what it is, about the two wolves inside you. There's no, do you know this? There's two
Which
wolves
one
inside you.
the dark
Which-
wolf and the light wolf.
Exactly, and that's it.
Yeah,
So
I know that one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we kind of vaguely know what that is. Anyone watching, just look it up. Somebody will explain it. But so I mean, I've kind of stopped watching the news lately, do you know, because it's just this
Same,
torrent,
man, same.
and
I
it's
can't
just
watch it anymore.
horrible. Yeah,
It was a
you
big
get
part
all
of
the
my
stuff.
identity. I was a news junkie. I loved, growing up in South Wales. Like, I had a massive interest in politics, and now I'm just done with it. I just think it solves nothing, and be the change you want to be in the world is kind of my attitude.
Yeah, you're not following like British politics anymore.
Obviously, I see the headlines, but I'm not as I used to be really in depth with it. I think people were quite surprised at the depth of my political knowledge. And yeah, I recently underwent some therapy, and I realized, I just asked myself, like, is this serving me? Is this making me happier? Is this making me a better person? And the answer to all those questions is no. So upon realizing that, I stepped away from it and pursued more healthier avenues.
Well, that's yeah. I feel the exact same. I stopped a lot of that negative stuff. Even on Reddit, I deleted all the politics and news stuff. And on Instagram recently, the stuff that I'm more following is people acting with kindness. There's all these different ones, but that's what's
Yeah.
kind of coming up on my feed now. It's like people being nice and pleasant to each other. So on this walk, when people will come out, we were in a village there the other day. Man, they had nothing. They had nothing. And there was this lady, and young one,
Young girl Lee,
25.
shout out to Lee.
Lee, you legend. She lived in Vietnam for a little while, so she had a bit of English and a bit of Vietnamese. And she was like, "Ye two boys, come up here. I'm going." And she pulled vegetables out of the ground, and she brought us up to her house and made us rice and veg soup and peppers and spices and stuff. Like she had, you know what I mean? Like they don't have a lot of stuff, and yet they are way more like loving and giving, than clearly people like, clearly than me, do you know, like people who
Myself too.
have
I
more
hope, I hope
yeah,
myself there. Yeah.
yeah, do you know what I mean? And there's something about that, I think. Like I've read a report that people who live in people who have less give a higher proportion of what they have to charity. Rich people they give more, absolutely, but proportionally significantly less. And you're like, there's enough money in the world, there's enough food, there's enough land to go around. Like we've got that
There's-
lizard brain, like, oh yeah, more, I want more. Anyway,
Yeah, when you've got so much, you're always chasing more, aren't you? So
Yeah.
that's what it seems like. Yeah.
give me your phone.
Here.
No.
See?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. Day 3, you wrote, the road is a strange place. Trapped in route, yet free in other ways. Blisters, aches, and the unknown. Buses, dogs, police, playful puppies. I guess obviously you mentioned you have no health insurance. But obviously you've done this before. Have you had like a serious conversation between the two of you about safety? Or is your attitude just embracing the chaos and all the fun that comes with it?
So Sean's a bit more sensible when it comes to that. I'm that brazen Aussie. I'm like laid back. She'll be fucking right. But we have had little bits of conversations, like in Tuan Zhao, we went to leave. And we walked for about half an hour. Sean wandered off into the bushes to have a leak, and he stepped on a snake and got nipped. Got bitten. Yeah. But whether it was just a snake with no venom, like a non-venomous snake, or whether it was a dry bite and it got no venom in, we had no insurance to cover what would have been an expensive cost if there had been any venom.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it wasn't a deep thing; it was a scratch. But like, I was still like, I need to get. And Jake was like, "You'd be grand. Come on." And you know, had it been Jake, had it been you who got nipped, you probably would have been. You probably would have said, let's just power on."
And if it had been a venomous snake, I wouldn't be here.
You'd be dead, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then think about it. If Jake had died from a venomous snake bite, imagine how much I'd be blowing up right now. The Jake Norris Memorial Walk, and Sean is just soldiering on, tears in his eyes, mascara running down his cheek. Like, man, I'd have got it cashed in.
Oh, so I probably should have, just for you, mate. Just that.
Selfish.
Yeah, selfish. Selfish.
Yeah. They would have made a movie out of that. Who do you reckon would have played
they
the movie?
Who would have played me? Who do you reckon would have played me?
Who cares? Who plays me? You're dead.
Yeah, but I'm in the movie for like the first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
Yeah, so who plays me?
I reckon
Danny DeVito. Danny
fucking DeVito.
Danny DeVito, yeah.
Anyway, Leo DiCaprio, fair play.
Years ago, I was in the bank, 20 years ago, they used to call me Joey because they said I looked like Joey from Friends. I never saw it.
I don't see it either, to be honest.
I think the thing is the bags under the eyes. Like, do you have a filter on? Because I feel we both look pretty good on this. Like,
no, I guess it's just natural light, man, on the camera does wonders. That's why I try to film next to a window. Yeah. It makes everything look good. Yeah, but always film outside if you can.
But we're essentially.
But yeah, please continue.
We're essentially outside. I was going to say, will we turn the camera around so you can see? But then the laptop might have trouble putting it back. It's perched precariously on the side of a chair. It's a mess. Like,
let's play it. Day 4, the rain continued to hit hard. I saw you filming your daily reel or trying to cover your camera in a plastic bag. What are some? I guess what are the practical tips of like staying warm and dry when you just barraged with rain? When I guess everything is soaked through. How do you manage that?
So we actually on the last walk we bought those flimsy plastic rain covers for the walk, and torrential downpour, they don't do anything. We're trying to carry as much minimal weight as we possibly can, so we're not carrying any rain jackets. So when it was raining on this walk, we actually just walked through it. We just put some bags over put some waterproofs. Shout out to Crazy Dan. We didn't have any waterproofs for the rain for our backpacks, so he went out of his way on the first morning and said, "What are you doing? It's raining. You need rain covers." So he went out and grabbed some for us, and we put them over the bag. So they came in handy. And obviously in the backpack, I've got all my electronics wrapped up in extra bags so that they're safe. But yeah, that's our precautions. There were no precautions for rain. So
was it him or Sean Meager who said it's worrying that ye have not even considered the possibility of this? Like, we're leaving the Republic.
I too,
like
am
the walk had already been. Huh?
I too am surprised.
Don't be. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're very just kind of.
Why would you be surprised? I'm wearing bloody thongs and going barefoot like for 2,000 k's. There's not much going up between the ears at the moment. Let's just walk. Let's put one foot in front of the other. We rescue some children and that's about it.
Safe. Day 5 to day 6, you mentioned, I think one of your sponsors is Matt Bell, I think I've got his name correct. He's giving you a stretching routine to keep you moving. I'm kind of curious how you're managing your fitness. What daily habits do you do to make sure you're recovering okay and keeping all your muscles going? Yeah,
so Matt Bell's a great mate from Ireland, and he's a personal trainer. So if you're Matt Bell Fitness, so actually he does that online, so for a lot of expat travelers. So if anyone's looking for a bit of PT training, shout out to Matt. He's bloody great. But he just gave us some very, very nice, simple exercises that we can do while we're on the road, morning and evening, so warm ups and warm downs. So Sean's been doing a few of those to keep himself in shape and looked after, so that, you don't pull any muscles.
And yeah,
So
touch wood. Like so far, I haven't. The last walk, I would just constantly wake up and something would go. I'd be, oh shit. But this time, yeah,
back's
no,
been fine,
the
hasn't it?
back has been fine. Touch wood, Jesus, I've said it now. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely fitter than I was. But yeah, the stretching, uh, there's a whole series of stretches I have to do at night and in the morning. But except for the tendon in the foot, like everything else, bizarrely is okay. Anyone who walks will tell you, look, you are going to get blisters, you're going to get sore ankles, you're going to get sore knees, your hips are going to be tight, your back is going to be sore. That's just par for the course. But so far, it's been okay. Now we've had a few days off for me to rest the tendon. We're off again in the morning. It's not 100%. It's like 50%, but
And
50% is better than 0%.
and with that as well, actually, we're going tomorrow's walk, and the next couple of days are going to be possibly a walk where no other foreigners have walked before. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I actually don't think any foreigners have taken this route we're taking. So
Yeah, but it is, for anyone who's worrying there, it is literally a route. The Irish ambassador Deirdre, who's been extraordinarily sweet to us, my
there's
personal
no
friend.
landmines. There's no landmines.
There's no landmines. Yeah, she was like, it is the most heavily mined or whatever place on the planet, and to this day you can't walk. You can't just wander into the forest because there's so much unexploded ordnance. So yeah,
Yeah, so over the next few days, there's about 9 days to Luang Prabang, the route we're taking. Very, very rural, not much going on. Lack of access to food.
but I'm
Um,
okay because Jake's always ahead of me. So if he was to, like, I would just turn a corner and there'd be like a
Mm.
red mist hanging in the air,
yeah,
and I'd be
so
like, oh, the Jake Norris Memorial
It's
walk
funny.
is back on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Have you seen
like
Squid
we're going
Game
to be.
season 2?
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. But
Yeah,
we're
you
going to
just
be
take
doing.
turns. It's like that glass bridge. Just take turns jumping across.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
Squid's season 2 is coming out soon, isn't it, or something?
It's done,
No,
isn't
the
it?
American one
Oh, the American one.
or something.
Don't know.
So
Oh, that's
if or something, I saw something about it. But yeah, I'm happy to participate. But yeah, on the next 9 days, this very rural walk, we're going to be relying on the generosity and kindness of strangers because there's no homestays or anywhere to stay. We're either sleeping rough because we don't have a tent because we're trying to limit weight. So we'll be sleeping on these raised platforms and getting hypothermia
Yeah.
or cuddling, or we'll be knocking on people's doors and saying, "Can we please give you some Lao kip and sleep on your floor?" So the reels are going to be very interesting. There's going to be some crazy stories.
We call it the
Yeah,
Kip
I
for
reckon that'll
Kip
be
program.
really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be good viewing, I think.
So yeah, but between day 8 and day 11, there were lots of, let's say, it got quite a bit comical. You ended up some really interesting hotels. It was Vietnamese Women's Day. You were climbing, I think, 1,200 meters, and I think you crashed a wedding. What's been like the funniest distraction so far on your walk?
Funniest distraction. The worst room. Shout out to day 4. So a bit earlier than that was this absolute brothel. It was just not an actual brothel, but we walked in, and it was this. There was something growing in my bathroom. There was bugs and hair on the bed. It hadn't been cleaned. It didn't look like it had been cleaned
No, it
since
wasn't clean.
1965. So it was horrendous. But yeah, you get that on the big jobs. At least it was a bed. It wasn't asbestos.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
But you're going in and the beds, I mean, they're not clean. Like there is hair. The bins are
used
the bins are full of used condoms.
used toilet paper.
And you're like, you're checking
Wow.
the beds because you're looking for, bed bugs, but you're not checking too closely because you're like,
You don't want to get your face.
yeah, but you're sleeping here. Like you're like, I'm out of puff. Like I can't walk anymore. I've got the blisters, and you're just like,
Or it's the only
it's the only place in the
it's
town.
6 o'clock at night, and it's
Yeah.
the only it's gone dark.
That was the place, yeah, that we went to, a nice place, and they wouldn't let us in. Like they took one look at us and went, nah.
Yeah, we did stink. Yeah, what was the most weird thing? Yeah, we did we got invited into a wedding but it didn't stay for long. But you get invited to have, as you know, in the north of Vietnam, rice wine's a massive thing, rice and corn wine, and they see a foreigner, and they're so excited, and they want to welcome you into their home, welcome you into to their country, and they want you to have the best time. So they're like, can you do some rice wine with us? And there was a day, I guess, in that period where you're talking about, and it was lunchtime, and we just climbed 1,200 meters, and Sean was having a shocking day. He had a big sugar crash, so he had to stop for a bit. And so I went ahead and found us a place for lunch. And the guy was so excited. He's like, "Oh, please have some rice wine with me." And Sean was like, "I'm not having rice wine. It's midday. It's bloody, I'm ruined. I've still got another 15, 20 Ks to go. Another 35, 40 K day. It was 35 degrees. It was hot. It was very hot. And I was like, well, I'll have to have the shot with him. And I thought I'll have one cheeky with him. And I'm having a beer as well, the idiot I am. And I cheersed him, and he looked at Sean, and Sean said, no. And he went, okay, you're having another one with me. So I had to knock back 2 shots of rice wine at lunchtime and knock a beer, because why not? Because it was a Quaha beer. Never heard of it. I was like, well, you gotta try this. Anyway, so that was an odd experience.
Now, to defend my Irishness, in the evenings, I'm drinking more, and we're getting drunk on very little. Do you know? I think it's the dehydration. We'll have 3 beers, and we'll be like,
Lao beer is 5%, whereas the beer hoy, yeah.
But I'll be like, come on, like last night, I was like, I'll keep drinking, and you're like, no, I'm done. I'm going home. And I had another beer on the way home. Like, I mean, they're cheap, but they are.
It's about time. About time he started drinking.
Sorry, man up, like.
Yeah.
Just in case my mum is watching.
Chicken you drink.
Well, to be fair, we actually have hardly. It sounds like we're just drinking all the time. We've hardly been drinking on this walk.
The last couple of days because of my tendon,
because we've been having a break, but
we really haven't.
Yeah, it's been nice to let the hair down and rest up and have a break.
Rest days in
Vietnam, but
we didn't really drink.
We hardly been drinking.
What was the first rest day?
Son La. No. Phu Yen.
What did we do?
You sat in bed the whole day.
That's right. I sat in bed the whole day. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like,
happens to the best, doesn't it?
Yeah. Had to go get him food and yeah.
But then we did have a few drinks that night with the locals.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good crack. Like, yeah.
You find that there's a lot of, when you have the opportunity to go for a beer with the locals and have some rice wine. Yeah. It's well worth it.
I have a little ukulele with me, which I can't really play, but I can bash out some songs. And like that, the locals were like, "Go on, play some songs now. Go play." Like, okay, So it's that was good. That was a good night actually. I enjoyed that.
So you threw your eye medicine away, but you kept the ukulele.
Kept the ukulele, to annoy Jake. Do you know the eye medicine won't get on his nerves, but the ukulele will. Here's the 2 songs I've learned:
sleeping in rooms adjacent to each other with cardboard walls, and I'm just it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm going insane. I'm like, I just want to sleep.
Shark do baby shark.
Tough times.
Is that the English? Yeah. We're heading towards the end of the podcast now. I'm going to start doing some quick.
No, we're not.
Questions.
No, we're gonna do another 3 hours. Sorry.
No, 3 hours. This section, I want to just fire at you a lot of quick, fun questions, and just see what the answers be. So, what's the weirdest thing you've been sold by a street vendor on the walk?
Oh well, for me, it wasn't sold. Jake had rocked through a place a couple of hours before me because he's always ahead of me, and he said stop there, and she didn't sell it to me, but she gave me these 2 doughy balls and a big fried banana thing. But I mean it I don't know if she was sending me a message, because it was like just this big dick and balls. She was like, there you go. Oh, okay. I ate it. I mean, they were delicious. So
we had
local sex
not
toys.
So much.
Be a bit mushy.
Haven't had anything weird sold to us so much, but you have kids in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
They'll say hello to you, they're so excited. They'll cycle off and they'll come back cycling after you, so excited, and they'll give you a gift, like whether it's water or a juice.
Do you remember that?
Or some of them gave us a pack of milk, which obviously we couldn't have, so
But
we
there was
donated it.
there was one girl, and she handed me a thing, and I was like, I took it, and I said, "Oh, I can't because it's like meat. It was like jerky or something." I said, "Oh, I can't,"
Oh,
but she'd
that's
already
weird.
gone. But it was pure vegan. It was.
Vegan jerky, mushroom jerky, in the middle of nowhere.
I
We're talking nowhere.
don't even know where she would have gotten it, and I don't know why she. But I mean, it was vegan, and it was
Delicious.
delicious. Like, yeah, that was great. Anyway,
That's great. Have you met anyone you couldn't walk away? You couldn't walk fast enough away from?
didn't you have some?
Yes. We got to a stop on a big climb, and not that you couldn't get away from them. They just they wanted to be friendly, but they were obnoxiously drunk. You know those guys that they spent the whole morning drinking rice wine, and it's out in the middle of nowhere on this hot day, and this guy, he rides up on his motorbike, and he's like, he just stops me and says, "Can I get a photo?" Like he's just like, "Photo, bang, bang." And I was like, "Okay." So I get a photo with him, and he grabs me by the arm, and I'm like, "Okay, I've got to go now." And he's like, "No, get on my motorbike." Intimating to his motorbike, like for me to jump on the back. I was like, "No, I'm walking, Debo." And he's like, no, and he's yelling and screaming to me to get on the back of the motorbike, and he's absolutely goosed on rice wine. He just stinks of it. I was like, no. So I get away from him eventually, and I walk off. And I get about 5 minutes down the road, and he comes cruising back on his motorbike, and he parks next to me, and he grabs me by the arm really physically, and he's like, get on. And I'm like, in Vietnamese, and I'm like, no, I'm walking. I explain it. Anyway, and then he starts asking for money. And I was like, no, what is going on here? Anyway, I got away from him. A third time it happened, and it got me really, really upset because we'd had a great day with all these kids, really beautiful day. And he literally stood in the middle of the road and started shouting at me to get on the back of the motorbike and trying to grab me and aggressively grabbing me. And I was like, mate, let me go. Like, let me walk around. I couldn't get around him. I messaged Sean. I said, if he rides up to you in a minute, walk away because he's just so drunk. You know, when they're just so comatized, comatose. They just don't know they don't know what to do, and he's obviously excited, but it's to the point where it's not nice. Yeah. So that was probably the only time I've had that.
It seemed like he just couldn't understand the concept of what you were doing.
No, he didn't.
And he's asking for money and getting on the bike.
Yeah, and he's aggressively drunk. Probably thought he was going to get some money for giving me a lift. He's aggressively drunk though, and just when they get handsy.
When they get handsy, when someone crosses that line, well, blocking, and that's happened. They blocked the road.
The switch turns on.
Yeah.
It was like, I just need to get out of there. Let me go. Yeah, and then we couldn't find lunch, so we couldn't find any food. So then you're just like
angry. Yeah,
it was a tough day.
Hungry. Last fun question. What's the small moment on this walk that made you unexpectedly happy?
There've been many. Just walking past schools, and the kids run out so excited. And you've probably seen on a lot of our stories and reels all these photos and videos with all these kids just like jumping around, saying I don't know, Xin Chao in Vietnamese, or just so excited and so bubbly and happy to see a foreigner. I've got a lot of time, for all the children in Vietnam and everywhere to just spend with them, and because they're just so excited to see somebody. So I've been having a great time. Yeah.
And they come up to you like little kids, like, I mean, literally 7 or 8 years old, and they'll be handing you 10,000 VND. Do you know, it's like 50 cent. But I mean, to them out in the countryside, like that's quite a lot of money. That represents them going and buying a couple of sweets. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like not an insignificant amount of money for a 7 or 8 year old. And, I mean, obviously it wouldn't make any difference to the walk, but I still take it. I don't. No, I don't.
Same again, I guess. As well on this walk, we had a lot of generosity with people in Vietnam, like especially the last week before Dien Bien Phu, where they see you sitting there and they ask what you're doing and you explain, and they'll buy you lunch or they'll buy you a coffee.
Yeah.
They're so excited and they're so thankful for what you're doing. So it's really lovely.
So lads, what's the most memorable interaction with a local that you'll never forget from this trip?
Mine's going to be in Laos. we crossed into Laos on the second day or third day, and we had nowhere. There's nowhere for 40 kilometers to get food, to get lunch. There's a couple of little shops for like selling packets of chips, crisps, and water, but nothing substantial. And I got talking Vietnamese to this young girl, Lee, 23, and she'd lived in Dien Bien Phu for 3 years, hence knowing Vietnamese. And she said, "Do you want to come back and have lunch with my family in her little ethnic village, which was literally hidden behind this little hill. You couldn't see it from the road." And so she took us up there and made us lunch, just out of the kindness of her heart. Has very, very little, and was willing to take in two strangers to feed them, knowing that they were going to not find food for another 25 or 30 kilometers, and we hadn't eaten. That will live with me for the rest of my days.
And for me, it was that day when I met that really drunk old Vietnamese lad on the motorbike, and I paid him to go up ahead and hassle Jake for an hour. That was so good.
That's fantastic.
Absolute scene here. See what I have to deal with? Bloody hell.
You love it.
You survived 7 months?
I'm looking. Yeah. I am Jake Norris, 38, looking for a new walking partner. Applications open.
Just send him a DM on Instagram. He'll be checking.
Yeah, that's it.
Furious.
Just to go back to something you said earlier, Alex. Then, would you be thinking of joining us if we're still on the road in the summer?
You mean next summer? Possibly.
Yeah.
Or whenever you got your 3 months. Yeah. Come out for a walk.
Yeah. I'll definitely keep an eye on where you are. Haven't locked in my summer plans yet. But yeah, let's see what you're planning.
Yeah.
So as a side note to that, be a Hanoi reunion, because a guy you had, I think he was on your third podcast, great Liverpool mate, Martin Goosey. Shout out Martin. He's actually going to join us on the second to last week of the walk when we cross into Thailand. He's going to fly over possibly to walk with us.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
We can't wait. We really can't wait. That's great. He joined us for 3 or 4 days on the
in Dalat. Yeah.
Legend.
He'll be flying from Egypt, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Which is a massive commitment just to come and walk for a bit, because but yeah, he that's the beauty of the open road as well. I think he's so excited just to have that time to process things and think about life and where he wants to be, and join two absolutely depth-shy fellas.
Stallions. How did they do it? What's the... No, there's a thing they do, mewing or something.
I don't know.
No.
Have you started mewing?
I can't. No, I haven't. That's why I'm growing the beard, to hide the jowls and the sagging neck fat.
You got a really nice thick... You got a nice thick beard, Alex.
Yeah, you're looking good. That's thick.
Yeah. My attitude is just maybe it's filthy. I got someone said I want to start doing Botox yet. I'm like, nah, my attitude is just grow old gracefully. I'm not into all that. So at the end of the podcast, I normally ask 2 questions to everyone. But Jake, you've been on this podcast before. I've asked you them already, so I've edited them a little bit for you both. So what's the one place you'd recommend where you've walked that everyone visit once in their life?
Okay. I'm going to rock 2. Sorry, I can't split these, but the one where we are, Mung Noi, it's a little village in Laos where we're taking a little break. It's beautiful. It's one street, but it's beautiful surroundings on the Namu River in Laos. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful people, all wear a smile. And
dogs and cats everywhere are super friendly. Yeah. Like after Vietnam, where dogs, as you know, in the north anyway, aren't treated very well, and aren't they? Here in this place, the dogs are fantastic. They run up to you and they will instigate play fighting. So yeah.
Unbelievable. And the other one I'm going to say is the Mung Tak rice terraces in Phu Yen Son La. You see him probably in one of or a couple of our reels. I've gone out, filmed kids running through the rice terraces at sunset, and it is magical, and not a well-known or visited place. No tourists go there. It's mostly frequented by a few domestic tourists. So,
And I would say from the Vietnam Charity Walk, Lee Son Island, which is just off the south coast of Vietnam, tiny little island, magical place.
actually, hopefully it's still there and hasn't been ravaged.
storm,
The ravaged by the storm that happened the other day.
Lee Son Island, yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Quang Chi
Add them both
province,
to my
right?
list. Yeah. I never actually went to any of those places, but I'm gonna add them on the list. And yeah, I guess the question I'll ask you is, I guess, like, Sean, you can answer this one. What would you say to the younger version of yourself before you left to go live in Hanoi?
Like specifically about going to live in Hanoi.
I guess just reflecting on where you are now in your life and the person you were, what advice would you give to the younger version of yourself?
Yeah, well, the advice I would give, it wouldn't matter if people give advice and you never listen, you know. Even now, people older than me are giving me advice. I'm like, yeah, I'd be fine. Genuinely, more than anything else, I think I would say stretch and do more exercise. And just like the difference I can see me now approaching 50, I have friends like me that didn't look after their health. And then compared to, but even like when I came to Vietnam 10 years ago, like that would have been great advice at that stage of my life in my late 30s, still would have been great advice. Fucking stretch, do a little bit more exercise, just, dedicate 5 or 6 hours a week to that. And that compounds in a way that, most stuff doesn't. So yeah, maybe drink a little bit less, maybe be kinder. Like genuine, a friend of mine said, "Oh, you can always improve your moral game. Always, doesn't matter who you are, you can always do a little bit better." But yeah, if one thing, stretch and exercise, man, just for the quality of life that you're going to hit 50 like that before you know it. But it's not advice. It's not advice I would have paid any attention. I would have been like, yeah, whatever, be grand,
I like that younger Sean was so headstrong he would have ignored his future self turning up in front of him.
Oh yeah, like I come in through a time machine and I'd have been like, you can fuck off. What about you then, Alex? What advice would you give? What advice would you give to your younger self?
Leave as soon as possible. I think it would be buy Bitcoin.
Go out and see as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's it.
Life just started getting better as soon as I started living it away from the UK.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have waited. Should have literally left a week earlier if I could have.
Yeah. But life tends to get better as you get older. I find like my 30s were better than my 20s, and my 40s have been like 10 times better than my 30. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you're going to run out of road. It's not like you're going to be 80 doing Molly and parachute jumping, but at the moment,
why not?
Why not?
Especially,
You saw an 80-year-old this week that did a bungee jump.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like life does get better, especially as a man. The way society works out, we're set up to really make the most of it later life more than our younger ones.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that, especially with all the knowledge you acquire, like exercise, finances, by your values. You just get wiser and wiser, and you have the freedom to pursue your interests.
Yeah,
life is getting better all the time. So yeah, last question, lads. Where can everyone follow you online?
Yeah, so Debo Charity. So Debo Charity on Instagram. That's where we're sharing all our reels. We are on Facebook as well. Just look us up that way as well. And we have a coffee page, KOFI, where you can follow. We're putting photos up there and things like that, and you can help the boys along the way.
Yeah, and it's Debo, Dibo, Debo.
Debo, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll sign off there. Thank you for joining me today. It's been lovely to talk to you. Known you for a few years. Really love what your friendship has turned into. Really respect all that you're doing in the name of good cause. And yeah, keep in touch. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Maybe one day we can walk together.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Take care of yourself.
Thanks very much, Alex. It's been great.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, man.
See ya.